We've waited a very long time. This is very anticipated. It finally came. No, I'm not talking about this review, I'm talking about the movie, Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man Homecoming stars Tom Holland, Marissa Tomei, Robert Downey Jr., Michael Keaton, along with a lot of young stars. This is the origin story, not really, it is the story of Spider-Man. The first story we really get to see him in as the new Marvel Cinematic Universe Spider-Man. We did see him in Civil War, and he had a great little cameo bit, a bit more than a cameo, he had a great little part in Civil War, and he killed it, which made this ever so more important. This movie was very, because we've seen him. This is the biggest part of any comic book movie, any superhero movie. You go in and you're like, what is this superhero going to be like? It's going to be good. We've seen him before and he killed it. So this movie had very high expectations because we knew what we were expecting. We were expecting a great movie and we were expecting a great Spider-Man story that we hadn't seen before. And this definitely was it. This follows Peter Parker, and it's his origin story, but it isn't. That's what I liked about this movie. This is his story that we get to see his coming of age as Spider-Man. But we didn't really see that side before he gets bit. And we didn't get to see him get bit and then transition. We've seen him as Spider-Man before, and now we see him trying to become an actual superhero, which is, I think, a great way of interpreting a origin story that we've seen 2 times on the big screen already in the last 15 years. So this movie, let's get off the start. This movie was great. They did well. They did a very good job with this movie. This movie's biggest aspect is Tom Holland. He is a perfect Spider-Man. I talked about it a little bit in my review of Spider-Man 2002, my rerun review. You can check that out. I had a mate in that video that wanted to see this video. He wanted to see this Homecoming review. It's finally coming. And I talked about how Andrew Garfield was a great Spider-Man, but not necessarily a nerdy enough Peter Parker. And Tobey Maguire was a great Peter Parker, but not necessarily a cool, cheeky Spider-Man. Tom Holland was fantastic at both. I think he definitely has the potential, if not already, to be the best Spider-Man. He just absolutely smashes this role out of the park. He gives great comedy. He gives that emotional moments as well as great action. He crushed it. And of any great hero, there's got to be a great villain. We saw Michael Keaton star as the Vulture. Now, for people that don't know and aren't familiar with the Vulture or haven't seen this movie follows the story of the Vulture's character, and he basically steals stuff from old, Avengers battles, and he steals all of the technology to build weapons and sell weapons. And obviously, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, has to stop that from happening, and he wants to save everyone and prove to Tony Stark, to prove to Iron Man that he's a real hero. Now that interplays a lot, and the people were very, very, very worried when they saw a lot of Iron Man in the trailers, a lot of Tony Stark. Like, is this going to be another Iron Man movie like with Spider-Man, or is this going to be a new Spider-Man movie? Do not worry, there is a lot more of Spider-Man. There is snippets, I wouldn't say snippets, there was parts with Tony, but there isn't a lot. It doesn't seem like an Iron Man movie, it definitely is a Spider-Man movie. And again, I've talked about how it's such a great idea of the origin story without being an origin story. This is more of a coming of age superhero movie than an origin story. That was the biggest thing. I talked about cast and characters. I think they nailed it on the head with the majority of these characters. I mean, the villain was fantastic. The hero was fantastic. The side characters were, for the most part, great. I didn't like Flash. If anyone knows Flash Thompson, he's obviously the bully that bullies Peter. And I understand they kind of took in this. They're like, okay, he's going to go to a smart, educated school, and it's going to be like a special science school. So there's obviously going to be some big dumb jock. But Flash Thompson's still supposed to be intimidating, someone that can beat you up. This Flash Thompson, I reckon I could flick him in the nose and he'll fall over. Like, he was a dick. He was a great douchebag. He made a lot of jokes, a lot of funny remarks about Peter, and he was a great dick, but he wasn't intimidating. I think that's a big part of Flash Thompson. But other than that, I think the cast was very well done, and the characters were definitely the highlight of this movie. Another highlight of the movie was just the storytelling in general. I think, again, it is just such a perfect way to see this character develop. And it was a development movie, and we got to see Spider-Man develop into Spider-Man rather than we see Peter Parker develop into Spider-Man. So it was kind of different in the way they did that, but they delivered it really well. They gave us a lot of great comedy in this movie, but it didn't overload with comedy. Like, it was funny, but that was the way it should be with Spider-Man. The action scenes were fantastic. I think Marvel continues their mojo of giving us great movies. We can only hope they're going to get better. I think the villains in the Spider-Man series can be fantastic. We've seen one already that was killing it, and he wasn't a fantastically huge villain in the world. Like, no one, say the Vulture people are like, oh, yeah, maybe I maybe know who you're talking about. he definitely made a great role into something he might Keaton. And this movie definitely delivers for the majority of parts. It's action-packed, funny. I think they did the right thing here and delivered a great movie. I was never blown away saying this is the greatest superhero movie I've ever seen, but it definitely was a fantastic movie and definitely a good addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm going to give it a B+, guys. Again, this is just the perfect movie to set up Spider-Man into the future, and I hope that it continues crushing what he's doing, because Tom Holland's crushing it. I hope that Marvel continue crushing it, even from a huge DC fan, because, you know, we've had a great DC movie in Wonder Woman, but I'd like to see more, but it doesn't stop me from seeing more Marvel movies, because I love them all. I love superhero movies in general, so hopefully they continue doing what they're doing in Marvel and continue kicking ass. That is it, guys. That is my review for Spider-Man Homecoming. It is a little bit late, but not too late anymore. I'm very, very close to being up to date fully with my reviews. This is the second day of filming that I've done my reviews. I did 12 a few days ago, and I've been uploading about 2 a day, and now I've got like, I think six more after this, and I'm fully up to date with my movies. I'm going to be very happy, and then I can start, you know, doing 2 a week instead of having to do nothing for ages and then do 2 a day for 2 weeks. So I'm very close to being up to date. Once I'm up to date, I'm going to continue doing reviews the day after or the day I see them, as well as doing some more reviews on collections and Blu-ray updates and some exciting stuff coming up. Picked up a lot of Marvel movies. I don't know if you can see, I picked up the Captain Americas yesterday, Avengers movies. I picked up some really cool stuff that I'd really like to do on video, but I want to get these reviews out first, and then I can start doing Blu-ray updates and, you know, rerun reviews and all this cool stuff once I'm up to date fully. But that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You guys know what to do by now. You can like, you can subscribe, get involved in the comments below, but of course, have a good one.